Have you ever wondered how much waste you produce every day? For example, when we eat, we produce waste like packaging, plastic utensils, and cans. After classes, we throw away printing materials. How about the newspapers and magazines that you read through every day? How will you deal with such wastage? I bet you dispose of the waste without giving it a second thought. Like you, many others dispose their waste without a second thought. As a result, landfills in Hong Kong are rapidly filling up. In 2005, the Hong Kong government launched a program on source separation on domestic waste to raise awareness in society about the importance of recycling and disposing of waste intelligently. Let's have a look at our university, the City University of Hong Kong. Are people at City University in the habit of recycling? To find out, first, we simply need two pretty few workers, Carrie and Rebecca. And finally, several pieces of paper and pens for recording. First, Carrie measured the total number of recycling bins, while Rebecca counted the number of ordinary rubbish bins in City University. Since the whole campus is too big for our measurement, we chose the 4th and the 5th floors of academic buildings, which are the places with highest flow of people, to be the places for our experiment. Also, we will pick up the bins that are the most frequently used from each of the places to be our target bins. Then, our field workers count the number of 3 kinds of recyclable items in both types of target bins at 5:30 in the afternoon. We picked this particular time to check the bins since it passed the rush hours, so we can examine the most amount of the rubbish. In order to improve the accuracy of our result, we repeat the counting for 3 more days. After collecting all the data, Carrie and Rebecca processed them. And here are the results.
First, we write the table showing the results of recyclable items in target recycling bins. We have 2 recycling target bins. On day 1, we have collected 6 aluminum cans, 11 plastic bottles, and 40 pieces of papers. On day 2, 7 aluminum cans, 4 plastic bottles, and 50 pieces of paper have been collected. On the last day, 3, 7, and 50 of aluminum cans, plastic bottles, and pieces of paper have been collected respectively. Then, we calculated the total amount of recyclable items are collected on day 1, 2, and 3, as well as the average number of each type of recyclable items. And finally, we get the total average number of recyclable items in target recycling bins.
Next, the multiplication factor enables us to estimate the total amount of recyclable items in recycling bins of CTU campus. It can be calculated by dividing the total number of recycling bins by the number of target recycling bins. The total number of sets of recycling bins is 8. The number of target recycling bins is 2. Thus, the multiplication factor is 4. Then we multiply this factor with the total average number. The outcome will be the estimated number of total recyclable items in recycling bins of CTU campus.
Similarly, we did the same calculation on 10 ordinary target bins to estimate the total number of recyclable items in ordinary bins of CTU campus. The total number of recyclable items in our target group will be 386.7. And also, we did the same calculation on multiplication factor. Then, the total number of recyclable items in ordinary bins in the whole campus will be 2,706.9. In order to compare the two numbers, we construct a pie chart. From our calculation, we can see that the recyclable items in ordinary bins are found to be roughly 10 times more than that in recycling bins in our campus. So, how do people think about recycling rubbish?
To find out, our interviewer, Michael, interviewed different people who are students or staff in the campus.
Could you spare me a few seconds to answer some questions? Okay.
And Michael asked,
Have you ever used the recycling bin in CTU?
No.
And why?
It is more convenient to throw rubbish in those ordinary rubbish bin, and I don't have this habit.
Do you know where the recycling bin in CTU are?
Actually, I know some of them.
Do you think there are enough recycling bin in CTU?
No, it is difficult to find.
Hey, thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
in total, 20 people were interviewed. And here are the results.
65% of people who have been interviewed had never used the recycling bins in CTU, and 55% of them think it is inconvenient to throw rubbish in those recycling bins, while 25% of them do not have this habit and about 20% think it is useless to recycle rubbish. When asking about the location of the recycling bins, 55% of them do not know where the recycling bins are. And at the end of the interview, 60% of them suggested that there are not enough recycling bins in CTU campus.
From our experiment, we found that there are 91% of recyclable items which are not being recycled, and this means they will be thrown away as usual waste. We have also calculated that there are more recyclable items in ordinary bins than in recycling bins by 82%. Surprised by the result, we then tried to know more about how people think about recycling rubbish through interviews. And the results brought us a fact that the sense of recycling rubbish is not deep-rooted in our students' mind, and therefore we made a few suggestions for our school to promote the importance of rubbish recycling. First, we suggest placing more recycling bins in eye-catching areas to increase the convenience of throwing rubbish in recycling bins. Second, we should pay more efforts in raising the awareness of recycling. So we suggest to create more posters and talks about recycling in the campus.
Recycling is one of our responsibilities. We cannot keep on being out of sight, out of mind. So we should act now. Throw the reusable or recyclable waste to the right place.